Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Bataleon Party Wave Twin. This board features Bataleon's medium camber with 3BT and sidekick. Medium camber is a mellow, traditional camber from contact point to contact point. So it's going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive that you're used to out of a traditional camber board, but you also get 3BT and sidekick in the tip and the tail. This helps scoop it out, reducing edge bite at the contact points as well as hooking up, and it makes it a little more buttery when you're trying to spin around on it, as well as giving better powder float as it funnels it out to the sides. This board is available in 147, 153, and 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny Bluebird day with leftover pow from the previous day, as well as a light dusting on top of that. There was chop, chunder, fast corduroy, slow corduroy, kind of just a mix of all conditions, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This is your standard run-of-the-mill twin flex. Softer tips, stiffer midsection with a lot of torsional flex. You can really twist this board. Adding to that torsional flex is the amount of 3BT that this board has. It feels like a rocking chair. It's just so pronounced that it's easier to get it on edge. And when you're twisting the board ankle steering, you feel that even more. Now, when it comes to stability, if you get into rutted out terrain, the nose is gonna fold back on you, send a lot of energy underfoot. You're going to feel that. When you're just cruising around on a groomer, you feel the chatter from the flap in the tips resonating back underfoot. Basically, this is a very lively board, not a very damp board. So keep your knees bent and be prepared that you might get bucked around. With this having medium camber, it's super easy to load up, and the rebound is what you'd expect. It's predictable, but not the snappiest thing there. It'll get you in the air with very minimal effort, but what you put in, you're probably getting that, if not less, out of it. So there's no reason to really try to manhandle this. Now, when it comes to jumps, you want to hit it flat-based. If you're remotely on edge, you better have cat-like reflexes, because that overabundance of 3BT will cause you to slip out. One thing I noticed was, even if I loaded this board up on the lip ended up doing all the work. So basically just go in with some speed and let the lip throw you and have some fun. If you're hitting pow jumps, it's a little bit of a different story. Yes, you're gonna get a little more spring out of it, but by and large, it's a powder twin. If you're gonna go in the park on a powder day and they've raked the lip, just go straight. If they haven't raked the lip, have some fun. So let's talk about pow buttering on this thing. You got 3BT and sidekick, and you got an abundance of 3BT. That helps funnel the pow out, and it's super easy to lock in on the nose or the tail with this board, and it just funnels that snow out. Now, when you get into firmer snow, you want to be in that flat section in the middle to really press into it, because if you're not, it's gonna start to kick out on you. So you got to be a little more calculated with it in firmer snow or a groomer. But that soft flex in the nose and the tail does let you lock in. Now, jibbing, it's the same thing. You want to be on that flat section for a nose or tail press. If you're not, teeter-totter effect, you're kicking out. The flex is forgiving in the nose and the tail, and there's just enough spring from the camber to pop off the end of the feature. When you go sideways, you've got that torsional flex, which is abundant, so it really locks in and cradles the feature. You feel it hug right around it, but it does not clap out on you. So when it comes to carving, this isn't gonna be everyone's cup of tea. On firmer snow, because of the abundance of 3BT, it feels loose and sketchy. It's not gripping, it's not locking in, it's just sort of teetering up, and you're like, okay, I'm there, and skid, 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 and lock in. That's what you got going on with it. In softer snow, obviously it's gonna be a little bit better. That 3BT is so pronounced, it's funneling the snow out. You're gonna be able to slash a little bit easier. It is a twin powder board. Like I said, not everyone's cup of tea when it comes to carving. It'll get the job done, but it's gonna be sketchy, and you need to have quick reflexes to actually ride it to get the most out of it. If you're a little more lazy and whatnot, you're probably gonna slip out, eat shit, die. A family of fat skiers is gonna ski over you, and then you'll be turned into a mogul, and that's just where you're gonna be. Who's this board for? The powder freestyle guy. So this board is replacing the Magic Carpet, which I absolutely love the Magic Carpet. This, not so much. It's kind of a lesser replacement in my opinion. The 3BT is too pronounced, just makes it too loose on a groomer. In POW, absolutely amazing, not gonna take away from that. It is a great powder twin, but let's be real here. People that buy a powder twin spend just as much time riding a groomer getting around to the powder than they do just riding straight POW with it all the time. With it being a wider board, the big-footed guys are like, I'm just gonna buy this as my everyday board. Yeah, okay, cool, have fun with that. Overall, wasn't impressed with it, but it wasn't bad when I was riding just POW. It's when I'm on a groomer cutting around the resort that I'm just sort of like, okay, it's a snowboard, does snowboard things, it's a little sketchy. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Comparable boards, the Marhar Lumberjack X, the Spring Break Powder Twin, the K2 Party Platter. Binding recommendations, the Bataleon Blaster ASIM, the Jones Orion, the Union Ultra. This has been my review of the Bataleon Party Wave Twin. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for you. And if you really like what we're doing over here, you wanna support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, could tell you more here, but I've got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.